for joining us, and this is still Enterprise Weekend, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's have our conversation for today. There is a harmful and false narrative suggesting that thief men from Benue State offer their wives to guests as a gesture of hospitality. This claim, rooted in ignorance and mischief, grossly misrepresents thief culture and values. Thief hospitality is generous, expressed through food, warmth, and open-heartedness, not promiscuity. A thief man may offer his best wine, his prized yam, or his home's comfort to a guest, but never his wife. The bedroom is not part of the welcome. It is sacred. To mistake generosity for invitation is to misunderstand both the culture and the man. This offensive myth was recently echoed by Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff, who wrongly suggested that thief people not only harbor terrorists but offer their women to them. Instead of addressing the serious failures in national security, he chose to scapegoat an entire ethnic group with a tired lie. His comments not only insult the thief but deflect from his duty and failure to protect the lives of innocent Nigerians. While he sought sympathy over a denied visa to Canada, he remained silent on the bloodshed in Benue, Taraba, and even his own southern Kaduna. His misplaced priorities and public posturing do little to defend the nation he was appointed to protect. Thief culture upholds marriage with deep respect and reverence. While it permits polygamy, it never permits adultery or wife sharing. Tradition strictly penalizes infidelity, and any claim to the contrary is baseless. That such falsehood are even taught in schools, of course, alarming and damaging to both cultural and understanding of national unity. No thief man in truth or tradition ever gave his wife to a stranger and called it hospitality. That's all we have for this reportage, and let's get talking. David Ikojo is here with me. Thank you so very much, David, for hanging on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Now, this is a bold misconception that people have had, especially as made possible by the CDS, Chief of Defense Staff or Personality, Christopher Musa, who said while he was addressing the people of Benue that the people harbored criminals, and not just harboring them, but give away their wives and their daughters, for the pleasure of these bandits. Of course, that is how the thief people have seen it. But let's take a look at generosity and tolerance in Nigeria and the culture that we have. How well do you think we have done this? Do you think we overdo some of these things?
I understand your question, Mr. Henry.
Yes.
But before we dive straight into the answering that question, I want to make something known out there.
Please do.
About this thief thing.
Yeah.
It's a culture. It's part of their culture. And the thing is called Kwasi Kem.
Okay.
Right? But
which means what?
It's wife hospitality.
Oh, wife hospitality.
Yes. And it's to show the highest respect and honor you have for your guests. This, let me give you context.
Okay.
Let me give you context. Now, you have a visitor over, but this visitor is a very serious matter, right? Now, the thief wife is not supposed to be directly in that conversation. She is in charge of the hospitality, making the home feel comfortable for the guests, bringing in the food, cooking, serving the guests, okay, do you need water, all those kind of stuff. Those are the kind of interactions she would have with that kind of guest.
Which is normal. Which
is a normal thing in every household.
Yes, yeah.
Now for this Kwasi Kem, now, this person that is coming in as your guest is a trusted friend, is a trusted person that this person can converse freely with your wife.
Okay.
That's the situation
that
brings in Kwasi Kem. Like, let's say I get married and I get married to a thief woman.
Okay.
She knows that when I have friends over, she has no business with them. What she would do is, okay, make home comfortable for them. If they come with their wives, their girlfriends and everything, they can also have their time there and, you know, gist and everything. But in the space of the living room where the men are sitting, maybe what she can do is sit and listen, you know, speak with her husband, drop in a few comments in the conversation, but not have a personal conversation with the guest. Kwasikem allows this relationship to move up a little. Like if I have my best friend over, obviously she should have a seemingly good relationship with my wife. My best friend and my wife should have a seemingly good relationship where they can speak to one another,
laugh and have that fun time.
That's what Kwasikem does. It's not saying that you offer your wife for anything immoral. It's just the wife has, and she can also turn it down. She just has the opportunity to speak freely with the guests. Now you can be in the sitting room with them while they talk about one or two things, or you cannot be there in your absence. You can speak with the guest. She can sit in the parlor. Peradventure, you have a normal guest come home where, okay, this person is not a regular person. We don't know this person. The person might just have to come and sit in the parlor alone. She might not be there. All she would do is offer him this, offer him that, and tell him, okay, maybe he should come back so and so time when the man of the house is around. That's just, Kwasikem just, bridges that gap. That there's a guest you trust, a guest you respect, a guest you are willing to honor with the company of your wife, not with that the guest and your wife will do anything out of picture. Now, to the question that you asked, are Nigerians really hospitable? No.
They are not.
I won't say so. Because as of the time when Nigeria was hospitable, I was still a child.
Okay.
Right now, if you walk, let's say you visit a household, there's a 50% chance where they won't welcome you in.
Because of the economy or what?
Yes, because
the
of how the economy is. Because not even just economy. Let's say we all just believe that everybody's a bad person now.
Are you sure that's a misconception, or is it because
that's a misconception? Yes. There's this relationship people who live in the community used to have. That if I see your child doing something wrong, I am able to discipline your child and bring your child to you that this is what your child did. As of now, if you see your neighbor's child doing something wrong, I don't think anybody says anything about that. We just let the child do whatever the child wants to do. And even if you try to say something to the child and the parent comes in and see you recording the child, they will shout at you for recording their child for them. Yeah. So if it comes to hospitality, I've said the hospitality in Nigeria has dropped a good amount.
Well, lots of people might not agree with you to some extent. It is still here nor there. Maybe because of security issues and all. People are not so comfortable about people, even your own bloodline. You know, sometimes when your bloodline comes around, you want to, do the big brother eye thing, and ensuring that you see where he goes, ensuring that your kid, especially the girl child, is safe with your brother and all of that. So it's really a matter of security for the home and all. But let's take a look at stereotypes and all, because what we have on the TV people is stereotyping them to a particular misconception that people have, had to run with. But let's take a look at other cultures in Nigeria. Let's say the Ijebu people of Ogun State, for instance. There's this stereotype around them that they are very stingy. And people have taken that home. So whenever you have whatever with an Ijebu man, already you make up your mind that this man will be very stingy. And when a woman gets married to an Ijebu man, she's already believing in her heart that she's going to suffer in this marriage, because the man would use tape to measure yam and all. So do you really think this stereotyping thing is real, number one? And how can we possibly get out of it rather than throwing a blanket on everybody?
This stereotyping thing, like for the TV people now, it came out of misconception.
Yes.
Right? That people didn't really understand what that wife hospitality was. And let's say westernization came in and they gave it a whole wrong context and pushed it out there. That what might have happened, right? For this stereotype, you can never wash away a stereotype. When certain people are known for something, they are going to keep being known for that thing, unless we all make a movement to say, okay, Ijebu people are not stingy. You guys just think Ijebu people are stingy. But that just gives them a characteristic that 80% of the people are stingy, small and not stingy. I don't particularly believe in stereotyping.
Okay.
I believe in people.
Okay.
If an Igbo person treats me this way, it is that person, not the Igbo culture that treats.
Okay.
Let's say they have things in their culture that, okay, you have to do this for, let's say if you cheat someone, if you cheat someone money, if an Igbo person cheats someone money, now, it's not an Igbo culture to cheat people of their money. Yeah. It is just that person that cheated you of your money.
So that person is the bad character.
The person the person that has the bad character, not the Igbo people. Because if you stereotype that all Igbo people will cheat you of money, you will go out with the mindset of anything. Every time you are going to have relations with an Igbo person that concerns money, you are going to have to be putting an extra eye because of the insecurity, and you are going to now have trust issues. It's wrong to stereotype, actually. And 80% of those stereotypes that come up is of the 90s. That's, okay, we had interactions with this set of people, and I don't think Ijebu people are stingy to themselves. They just have the best interest of their people at heart. I don't think they are stingy, because I've met Ijebu people, and when you are their person, if someone out there is trying to cheat you, they will come and fight for you. If someone out there is trying to do one, or they have the best interest of their people at heart. It's not that they are. Maybe a community wanted to interact with an Ijebu community, and the Ijebu community proves to be stingy. Maybe because what these people are offering is going to either one way be detrimental to their own people. So instead of letting these people come and ride over them, they decided, oh, we're not going to let this happen.
But overall, there's nothing wrong about being stingy. It's rather you being a better economist. You know how to manage things. You understand? So rather than being wasteful, rather than being wasteful and going home with this profligacy of spending money as much as you can. So there's nothing wrong in it.
And also, this stereotype, not all are bad. Not all stereotypes are bad. We just use the word stereotype for the bad ones. But Ijebu people are known for that. So you know that as much as they are stingy, their Gary is good.
Ijebu Gary.
Their Gary is good. So you cannot say not all stereotypes are bad. It's fine to stereotype, you get, but it's also bad that the stereotype you are having in your mind stems from just a single interaction or one or two interactions you've had with a certain people from a certain community. It could be that the behavior or characteristics you saw from this person stems from just their family alone. It might not just be a community thing, and you just take it to your heart that, oh, all of the outside people are bad because of the little thing the outside person did to you.
So very, very true, and I'm very so excited actually that the Ijebu community have rebranded themselves, especially with the festival Ijebu Day or whatever it is. What's the name of that Ijebu Oba festival? That is that's all around town now, and people are celebrating it. But let's take a look at other communities, and because what we're trying to do rather on this particular program is using TIV as a reference point to disabuse the minds of people on stereotyping of cultures, of ethnicity, of religion, and all of that. So that's basically what we're doing. So in case we mention typical textbook stereotyping of a particular region, it's not actually, we're not doing that to debase that culture or that place. We're just using that to clarify how that we should throw that out of the window. Now, if you come to Imo State, for example, there are people who call the Mbise people, and there's this stereotyping too, of the people. It was actually made possible by a folktale, a singer who said that if you see an Mbise man and you see a snake, you should kill the snake. You should kill the Mbise man before killing the snake. And why is he saying that? He had a business, all right, with an Mbise man. And the Mbise man, just like you did say, is supposed to be a personal thing, tricked him, all right, and he generalized it. Now, I love us to talk to, because we are in the new era of social media and proliferation of story. Once something gets out of the media, even if it's true or false, everybody takes that home. Now, how do we curb the issue of social media information that goes viral, even when those things are not, don't go through the lens of fact-checking?
You see, I'm part of the community of people that do that stuff you just mentioned.
That do what exactly? Please, I would love you to.
It's called propaganda and
okay.
stuff, right? For social media, there will be no curbing of giving out misinformation.
Okay.
Because people just want to make 80% of the time, and they don't want to make content that will go viral.
Okay, so like they actually don't mean it.
They actually don't mean it. Most of these things, most times, are not true. And if you check, sometimes there's a sense of real information in their misinformation, but sometimes it is coined in a way to show it off differently. Like this, I'm going back to this thief stuff, because what really happened there was misinterpretation and westernization. For the Western community, saying it out as giving your wife as a means of entertainment, if you put it in that statement, it's very wrong.
Okay, so is the interpretation now that's the problem?
Yes.
Okay, because the culture of the people have it that a woman should take care of a guest.
Yes.
Right? But people misinterpret it when you maybe interpret it to the English context.
Exactly, the English context.
So it's now looking like something else.
It's now looking like something else. So if you put it in a statement, giving your wife out as entertainment, obviously it's wrong. Obviously, maybe in the thief community, saying it like that, they will know what it means. But someone that is an outsider coming to hear it in that statement, obviously is going to be wrong. So yeah, a lot of westernization has ruined a lot of cultures here and there for a lot of things, right? But that doesn't mean there is no way that you are going to curb out this thing.
But how do we keep the culture original without having infiltration of the Western culture that debases it?
Keeping the culture original would mean people know the culture. I went through primary school not knowing the Igbo culture, not knowing the Yoruba culture, not knowing the Hausa culture. We only learn as we go. Because
historically, they removed history from a curriculum.
So the people who would know much about these cultures are people who study history in university. We that we just went through secondary school, went through primary, secondary, and university, we didn't do anything related to history. We will not know these things. So anything we pick up from the internet is what we'll take home. So the most efficient way to curb out this thing is to let people know the basis of each culture. Now there's a saying that an Igbo person will never dobale completely to greet, right? But they will bow their head.
Definitely.
For a Yoruba person now, seeing this outside without knowing that this is their own
culture
will become an issue. Because if this person does not greet you properly, you
feel that it's disrespecting.
Exactly. But to them, just bowing their head
shows absolute sign of respect
for them. So I've met an Igbo person that said, okay, you have no business kneeling down to greet somebody but that's the person's perspective. No matter how you want to dispute that this thing you are doing is wrong, it is not wrong. To you, you might feel it's wrong, but to the culture of that person, that's what the person was trained with. This is the mentality the person came up with. So the best way to actually curb out this misinformation flying about, because anything someone sees now that looks controversial enough to make the rounds on internet will easily make the rounds on internet because people don't know these things. So the best way is to inform the people.
The best way is to inform the people. So what you are trying to say here is we should increase our awareness. There should be people, advocates of cultural orientation.
Advocates of culture is far. Let us put history in schools.
Okay, bring back history.
Yes, so as people are going through from primary, they are learning this about this culture. They are learning this about this culture. Not only focusing on their cultures alone. Even if you are focusing on your culture, you should have at least a good knowledge of how to treat a Yoruba person. You should have a good knowledge of how to treat an Igbo person. So when you come in contact with them in future, when they do some things, you will know that yes, this is in their culture. This is not wrong, because to you it feels wrong. It doesn't mean it's wrong, but this is in their culture and this is how they see it. So breeding up the younger generation in schools, knowing that this is this and that is that, will be very important to talk about this.
Very true. Reputation management is so very important, and I think the young people who are watching right now might take this home for free. You know, this is more like a content delivery class. You know, where there are lots of things you can actually talk about on social media. I would love to believe that one of them should be possibly reorienting the people on the culture of where they come from and the culture of where other people come from, such that tolerance is observed in the lives of different individuals and the people from different ethnicity over other people from different ethnicities. Well, that's just about the time we have for today. David, thank you so very much for being here and making our weekend a very interesting one.
Thank you for having me.
We hope to see you next time, isn't it?
You see me next
That
time.
is, if you are not busy or maybe a duty call takes you out of the country.
You see me next time by God's grace.
All right, beautiful. So David has promised us that he will be here next week if time permits to do some talking on the show today. Thank you so very much, people. We'd love to say thank you once more for being part of it. Please do well to follow us if you may. You can always read up on everything we've talked about today when you visit us at EnterpriseTVnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. I am Henry Igwebike, and on behalf of everyone from Enterprise Television, we'd love to say thank you and have yourself a splendid weekend. Bye-bye from us.